Hi, good morning everyone. It's Bob Bannister here from iManage Performance Limited. Just thought I'd give you a quick insight into what I'm thinking about today from a hotel room in Paris, just doing a bit of prep prior to a session later on today, and just looking at some materials by a guy called Bill Treasure from his book Courage Goes to Work. He suggests there are three types of courage that are really useful in leadership within organizations, and I like this idea. First, he talks about try courage, the courage actually to break new ground, to have a go at something, to explore, to take some risks. It's a courage that we can kind of be unwilling to venture into simply because it is something that has an element of risk associated with it. But it's the type of courage that breaks new ground and brings new outcomes and new approaches and new efficiencies. And there are many benefits from trying. And I've been reading another book just recently, Black Box Thinking. And that was talking about how important it is to get a product into market and try it and get feedback quickly and then improve it and then do another iteration rather than working away at something to get it, what you think is completely perfect. Before you take it to market, the book was arguing that, you might get 10 iterations of user-led development that really builds a product that is fit for purpose in the time that it would take to kind of work something out and build something that you think is perfect, and you haven't actually been able to test that at all. So will it be perfect? So try courage. I like that idea. The second type of courage that Treasure talks about is trust courage, and I've always been a big fan of developing trust. Thinking about what the ingredients of trust are. We use a trust model. I don't know its source. I was told it by a salesman years ago, and he talked about people buying when they trust you, and trust having three major ingredients. And given the time, there's a little exercise that really demonstrates these ingredients are very well thought through. But to cut it quick here, the ingredients are intimacy in a relationship. Intimacy seems the wrong word, doesn't it, in a business context, but actually we trust people when we have a relationship, when we know them well. The other ingredient is credibility. When people have the competence, when they deliver, they keep their promises, they don't let you down. That's the credibility element of trust. And the third element is actually kind of like a divisor. It's something that potentially damages our ability to trust, and that is the level of risk. When risk is high, trust is really needed. There is an argument that says when risk is non-existent, we don't need to trust at all, actually. If I gave you my wallet with no money or credit cards in it, then I don't need to trust you much. But if it's stuffed full of, £1 million, €1 million or something, $1 million, then I have to trust you much more if I give you that, because there's something at stake. There's a risk. So, the level of risk is necessary. We don't need to trust unless risk is there. So that's one factor in trusting. Intimacy relationship, the other. Credibility, the third ingredient of trust. And you get those things right and you start to build a trusting environment. And leaders need to trust. They need to be able to give up control. I'm increasingly personally trying to model that actually, give the authority to where the information is. Give it to your teams, give it to your people. Let go of the control. Otherwise, you will strangle your business, your function, the team that you are leading. So that's the second type of trust that Treasure talks about. The third type of trust he discusses is tell trust. And that's tell courage. And that's the courage to actually highlight things that need highlighting, the courage to frequently and truthfully give opinion, express ideas, so that there is that development and there is that desire to help people improve them and better themselves. One of the little things I always think is, in tell courage, we should never use this phrase common in the UK, constructive criticism. That's a dreadful phrase. The moment somebody says to me, can I give you some constructive criticism? I want to go, no, that's okay, thanks. I can do without it. But what we need to do instead is think about developmental feedback. If we have in our hearts that desire that we want to develop somebody and improve them, that's a much better position to come to feedback and tell courage than I want to give some constructive criticism. Kind of reposition that in your minds, because you can take the best person in the world and give them developmental feedback. Usain Bolt gets developmental feedback off his team, off his coaches, and that has a very different flavour to constructive criticism. But Treasure's idea is that great leaders have that ability to tell and do that in a way that is not damaging, that is inclusive, that is involving the individuals, but recognises there are times when we might move from a coaching model of asking and drawing out from somebody to being more decisive and direct, and recognising that we need to do that as part of the mix. If we do that with try courage, with trust courage, and with together do the tell courage piece, then we are really creating an atmosphere of courage that is exciting, that has the potential to grow and flourish. So just a little idea. I'll be exploring that with a group of 20 odd people later on today, and I thought it'd just be good to share. So do connect with us. Great Twitter feed, growing like crazy, at iManage, our Twitter feed. Connect with us on YouTube. Do like and follow on the YouTube feed, because there's lots of new content coming. And then Facebook, and of course www.imanageperformance.com if you want to catch us on our website and find out a bit more about us. Great to speak to you. Catch you next time.